morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to take a little bit of a look at Hatterene VMAX, and ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted about this, and I know a bunch of you are going to be delighted about this as well. I have talked about it on this channel. Many of you over the past year or so have left me comments along these lines as well. The idea that it is the only Pokemon in Gen 8 that has a Gigantamax form that doesn't have a VMAX. Remember, VMAXs are either Gigantamax or Dynamax versions of Pokemon. And until today, every single Pokemon that had a special Gigantamax form, because remember, Gigantamax are different to Dynamax, they are different forms. Every Pokemon that had one had a VMAX, except for Hatterene. That changes today, ladies and gentlemen. That changes today. Because, of course, we've had Hatterene V for a while now. It was a promo card, like, ages ago, and it never had the VMAX. Incidentally, the Hatterene V we got, I was not a fan. Free energy, if they're already confused, 180, and then 2 energy, switch them and make them confused. Nah. First attack had to be 1 energy to be viable, and the second attack, you had to have something more than that. 180 if they're already confused was not good enough. So, no, that was not a good card. We never liked it. It was never destined to be good. As a side note, we have a new Hatterene V, and we got art by Kawayu, who's done a bunch of Pokemon V at this stage, and whenever Kawayu does a Pokemon V, it is time to get excited, because that dude is good. Shout out to the lovely Antoine Boulet for helping with translations here, though I did do a bunch of these myself, because I am a little bit proud of the fact that I can now. Although, as it stands, I've not seen a translation anywhere for Hatterene V's first attack, which is really awkward, so I'm going to try this by myself, and I will double check before I post this video. I'm pretty sure what it does is you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, you choose any number among them to attach to Hatterene V, any energy I should say, and then put the remaining cards on the top of your deck in any order. So you're basically setting up for the second attack. Look at the top 3 cards, attach any energy you want to Hatterene, and as long as you can attach 1, then next turn you attach a 3rd and you're ready to attack. But you also get to stack the rest on top of your deck in any order. And this basically does 2 things. First of all, energy acceleration, yay! Secondly, it means you get to know what's on top of your deck. You're basically stacking the top of your deck with your non-energy cards, and I like this. Although, I'm not loving the using an attack to attach energy and then leaving yourself in the active to take a hit. That can sometimes go very wrong. As for the attack, it is, 80 damage, switch to the bench. Not loving that one so much. The free energy's too expensive. I'm just putting that right out there. I will say, at least you've got the first attack to try and accelerate the energy. We've at least got that. Without that, I would absolutely hate it. With that, I don't think it's good, but it's at least passable. I mean, it's way better than the other Hatterene V, I'll tell you that much. It is definitely better than the existing Hatterene V, but I don't think it's particularly inspiring. As for the Hatterene VMAX, we've been waiting a long time. Is it worth the wait? Maybe. I mean, look, the attack isn't good. Psychic double colorless, 150 damage. The opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Not loving it. Honestly, not loving it at all. However, I do like the ability, because it lets you move 2 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. Now, the wording here is very, very important, and I'm pretty sure Antoine's nailed it, because they always do. And yeah, I mean, I'd say I've checked it, but just trust Antoine. Antoine's really good at this. But it has to be to your opponent's active, but it can be from any of your Pokemon, which is a very big deal. And here's the thing. I don't really like Hatterene as an attacker. Just don't. But I do like the ability. And remember that Radiant Eternatus I just showed you yesterday? I think it was probably yesterday. The one that lets you, when you bench it, it ends your turn, but you get to search out 2 Pokemon VMAX and put them on the bench. Yeah. I like this way more as a search it out with Eternatus, the Radiant version, and then bench it and use the ability kind of thing. And then, of course, you can combine this with Radiant Alakazam, which also lets you move damage counters because, let's keep this theme going, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Radiant Alakazam moves 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another. So, no, it's not the same, but it's still moving damage around. It's still pretty good. And I think we might be onto something. I don't like Hatterene VMAX as an attacker. Free energy, 150 plus confusion isn't good enough. But I think very specifically, if you use Eternatus to search this out for the ability, now all of a sudden, my opinion is changing quite a bit. But to be clear, it is that. That is what I like it for, not the attack or anything else. But there's another Pokemon that's gone and gotten an evolution, and it is Simisear VSTAR. And I put Hatterene VMAX, the special art rare, on the screen, never actually pointed it out. Well, now let me point out the Simisear, and we'll put the Hatterene back on the screen, because why not? These are beautiful cards. We love them. They're very, very beautiful. Yeah, they're just really nice cards. And the Simisear, it's weird, but I kind of really, really dig it. The Hatterene is very traditionally like good artwork, and the Simisear is just weird and not generally how Pokemon cards look. Honestly, I'm not implying this isn't good artwork. I'm saying it's stunning, but I'm saying Hatterene is the kind of thing we expect from a Pokemon card, and the Simisear is just weird. But I absolutely love it. As a side note, we do not have a new Simisear V. We have a straight reprint of the one that was in the 100 start decks. And, we had Simisear V already. It's been released over here, and it's not good. I'm going to be honest with you. Came out in Brilliant Stars. Free energy, 90 plus 30 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active. Fine, I suppose. But it's not particularly great, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be honest with you. It's really not particularly great. But hey, we got Simisear VSTAR now. Maybe this could change everything. And if nothing else, that card is going to look amazing in our binder. So what we got with Simisear VSTAR is 260 HP, which is not great because we generally go up to 280. We've got an attack for free energy that does 40 damage. And you may discard up to 5 cards on the top of your deck. And it does 40 more for each card you discarded in this way. Oh. I kind of love this. And I don't necessarily love this in an I think it's legitimately going to be good kind of way. I kind of love this in that's a weird kind of silly deck idea that I can totally get behind kind of way. Because if you discard the top 5 cards of your deck, that's 240. 240 is enough to KO Pokemon V super easily. With a choice bout, you'll hit 270, which you get a lot of, but not all the V-Stars. And then you're like 10 damage away from getting a KO on Pokemon V-Stars. So I don't know, play a Galarian Zigzagoon. Boom, done, sorted. It's easy. Getting that extra 10 damage is not that difficult nowadays. And actually, yeah, this is now really cool. And I kind of love this. You are just discarding your deck willy-nilly, which can go horrendously wrong. But there are fun things you can do when you're discarding your entire deck. And let's be clear, right? If you're playing around with this, you've got to kind of go full gimmick. You've pretty much got to go full gimmick here, or it's not going to work. But if you're willing to commit, and you're willing to go full gimmick, you can have an awful lot of fun with this card, ladies and gentlemen. You can have an awful lot of fun. So how about something like Hisuian Basculegion? 0 energy, 20 damage for each basic energy in the discard pile, and then shuffle them back into your deck. So just go nuts with Simisear discarding energy, and then bring in Hisuian Basculegion. That could be kind of fun, I suppose. We could have a little bit of fun with that. By now you probably know that I am a huge Wormadam fan. I've not really been able to make it work, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But you got a bunch of different Wormadam, all of whom do 30 damage plus 10 more for each Pokemon in your discard pile. So you get enough Pokemon in your discard pile with Simisear and then go nuts with this. And I don't think it's actually really going to work that much. I'm sorry. I think it's well gimmicky, but I kind of love it. And anything along these lines, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, we could have some fun with this. But actually what you could do is literally just play Simisear as a deck in and of itself, Because firstly, you're just doing 240 for free energy, that's pretty good. Don't sleep on the fact that it's 2 colourless energy and a fire. So, for instance, Magma Basin and Double Turbo will pay this in one go. Though do remember Double Turbo will reduce the amount of damage you do by 20. Do bear that in mind. But then 1 fire energy, 30 damage for each energy card in your discard pile. So basically sit there using the first attack, and then when you've got enough energy in your discard pile, who needs Hisuian Basculegium? In comes Simisear. Worth pointing out, Simisear does not shuffle them back in. So if you get enough energy in your discard pile, you go like full aggressive here, then what you can do is basically go big attack with Simisear, that's your V-Star power for the game, then bring in Basculegium, and yes, after you've used Basculegium, the energy goes back into your deck, and then it's a bit rubbish, boo, hiss, etc. But just play a really aggressive discard deck, and then hit with Simisear, and then go in with Hisuian Basculegium. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, you could have some fun. I'm giving this 4 Wassies. I think it is gimmicky. It's as gimmicky as you like, but I do think there is potential here for a really fun gimmicky deck. And I'm not saying it has to be like Basculegium, but I'm just saying there are so many decks now and in the future that we've not even seen that play around with so many so-and-sos in the discard pile. There's got to be a bit of potential here. Hatterene, I'm giving 3 Wassies specifically for the Eternatus combo and nothing else. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Fun things, fun times, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me how excited you are by all of this. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk Pokemon and card games and all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel. You can get some bonus podcasts where I answer all of your questions. You can join a Discord to chat with us and just generally have an awful lot of fun. Oh yeah, and get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Evan Parker, who's been a supporter of ours for a few months now and does seem to be a very lovely person. So thank you for all the support, and thank you for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.